Thank
Yep. You. Can we let everyone in? Everyone's in? Oh, and then Carla's screen. All right, well, good morning again, everyone. Welcome to the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunity webinar for the construction industry. My name is Aisha Driggers. I'm the program administrator. We have some of our city staff on as well. I want to first ask anyone to mute your phone as soon as you come in. I'll try to catch you as you come in, but if not, make sure you're muted unless you're asking a question or speaking so that we can make sure there's no feedback. I'd like to first introduce my director, Melissa Lindler. Do you just want to welcome everyone before we get started?
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, everyone, all of our panelists and also our participants that have joined today. This is one of many seminars or webinars that we've been doing over the past couple of months in helping our businesses cope with COVID and their responses, but also helping you connect with each other if you're in the same industry. So on behalf of our mayor, our city manager, our city council members, thank you so much for joining us. I will say that this industry has been a topic of conversation with council, with the mayor, and with our city manager over the last couple of months as well. Our projects are continuing for those of you that are participating in many of our water and sewer infrastructure projects. So there's work there, and we're going to talk about those opportunities more specifically at a later time. But we definitely want to support you at this moment, as we do throughout the year at any moment. But right now, we know that everyone's trying to make sure that they're maintaining. It's not necessarily, as one of our interview said, or on the video that you're going to see later, it's about capacity building, but it's not. Right now, everyone's trying to survive and make sure that they're maintaining. So we want to help you do that. So again, thank you so much for being a part of this effort. Thank you so much for helping OBO, as you've always done, and supporting what we do. And if there's anything that we can do for you, please let us know. Thank you. Thanks, Aisha.
Thank you, Melissa. So we're going to get started. Carla's going to share her screen so we can tell you a little bit about the Office of Business Opportunities. All right, so in our office, we have three primary functions. We have a commercial lending program, and it offers financial assistance to startup and existing businesses for growth, expansion, retention, and the creation of new jobs. It offers assistance in the redevelopment of commercial corridors. Our next program is our contractor and supplier diversity. It is a training and support program for city initiatives designed to increase local contractors' capacity to compete for government contracts and other procurement opportunities. It's really important for our leadership that our procurement reflects the diversity of our great city, and we're able to do that through our subcontractor outreach program, mentor protege program, and our local business enterprise. We also have a Columbia Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, and several of our participants on our panel today are members of some of these programs, and they can kind of speak on some of the benefits that they've experienced. Lastly, we have our Technical Assistance Education Advocacy. It's our business development assistance and courses for startups and existing businesses looking to grow and expand. We cover topics such as marketing, the use of social media, business plan development, finances, legal issues, and more. This webinar is a part of our technical assistance that we provide to our small business community. So early on during the pandemic, city staff and leadership determined that there was a need for us to address the needs of our small business community. And we did that through a subcommittee. And we identified different areas that not only the city, but the Office of Business Opportunity can meet the needs of the businesses. So if you go down Main Street, you've probably noticed some of the general signage and decals that remind the public to stay 6 feet apart and encourage social distancing. We also have flyers. Hopefully you've seen those for individuals that have taken a part of the pledge, and I'll provide that website in just a few minutes on how your business can take that pledge to ensure that the public and your customers are practicing social distancing, and understanding that the business believes that your health is our #1 priority. We have a couple more flyers on here regarding reopening responsibly and wearing face coverings. As you know, the city enacted an ordinance requiring face coverings, and we have found that face coverings work. So we want to make sure we encourage their utilization for the public. The Resilient Columbia Pledge can be found at resilient.columbiasc.gov. And by taking this pledge, a business declares that it is taking steps based upon guidance from the CDC and DHEC to monitor the health of their employees, clean high-touch areas frequently, encourage the use of face coverings, and promote regular hand washing, limit the number of people both inside our building and in our outdoor space, if applicable, and to promote social distancing at all times to include the public right-of-way adjacent to our business. The thing that makes the City of Columbia Pledge unique from other pledges is that there is an interactive map that is provided. On the next slide, you can see which businesses have already taken the pledge. So as a consumer, if you want to go out and go shopping safely, you might want to take a look at this pledge and see what businesses are actually taking the safety and health of their constituents and customers to heart, and making sure that they have adapted this pledge. So that's a really neat feature of the map that's on the website. Also, the city has introduced a Mask Up challenge in conjunction with TAP's Outposts to engage the new public education and social engagement campaign to encourage all citizens to protect themselves from potential exposure to COVID-19 by wearing protective face masks when in public. The hashtag Mask Up Columbia SC Challenge gives Columbia citizens of all ages the chance to express their individual imaginations and inspirations by wearing fun and expressive face masks, and then sharing those with everyone through social media on the maskupcolumbiasc.com website. I hope you take some time to look at that website. There's some really unique face masks on there, and it's a fun way to make something that we should be doing enjoyable. And we're pleased to welcome partners Experience Columbia, Columbia College, Benedict College, to the Mask Up Columbia SC campaign. Regarding our upcoming webinars, next week we will have a Leverage Technology During a Pandemic. It'll be a small business response for survival. That'll be on Wednesday. We're excited to announce that Rick Wade with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce will be participating in that webinar, and he will discuss how you can use technology to pivot your business. We'll also discuss disparities that some of our minority and women-owned business experience as they are recovering. We also have some great partnerships with the Richland Library, the Benedict Women's Business Center, and the South Carolina Small Business Development Center to talk about some of the resources and some of the exciting things they have that are available to our entrepreneur and business owners. We'll also have a Mentor Protege Program annual meeting on September 15th and September 17th. Of course, that'll be in a webinar format right now as we're practicing social distancing and discouraging large crowds. And for anyone that is participating in the Mentor Protege program or that is interested in becoming a mentor or protege, we encourage you to keep up to date on that meeting, and we'll provide registration information on our website as we get closer to that date. We'll also have our Minority Business Opportunities Conference the week of October 13th. Typically, that's a big conference that we offer in a face-to-face format. It's grown over the past couple of years. Unfortunately, we had to postpone the originally scheduled one from earlier this year to October, but it's a great opportunity for our vendors and local companies to meet with the different departments in the City of Columbia and see what type of procurement opportunities are available. As you know, not everything goes out for bid, so it's important that some of our departments know what vendors are out there and what good services they provide to the public. So we'll have more information on registering for that event as well. We'll also offer a matchmaking opportunity for the one-on-one with the vendors and the different departments. So we're really excited about that. After this webinar, you will receive a survey. We ask that you please complete that and return it to our office so that we know how we can better serve you. We want to make sure we're providing trainings and opportunities that the business community actually needs. So it's important that you let us know, give us any feedback of this webinar format, and if any suggested changes or if there are some other topics that you're interested in, please let us know through the survey. The next slide has our contact information on it. Of course, our business is closed to the public, but I assure you our office is not closed. We are working day and night to make sure that we can provide our services to you. So you can give us a call at 803-545-3950, or you can email us at obo@columbiasc.gov. We have some great information on our website at www.columbiasc.gov/OBO. I also want to make you aware that this summer we started a newsletter, and we sent, hopefully some of you have started receiving that. If you haven't, please email us at obo@columbiasc.gov, and we'll make sure you get a copy of that newsletter. But we share a lot of great information about upcoming webinars, not only with the City of Columbia, but with our business partners. Also information about funding opportunities or different community events that may be of interest to the business community. So please let us know if you're interested in receiving that newsletter. So now we're going to get started with our webinar, our construction industry response to COVID, operating safely and workforce development opportunities. We're going to start with our representatives from OSHA. We have Sharon and Derek. We're going to get, I believe, Sharon, we're going to share our screen with you.
Give me a sec. Anthony usually handles this part.
Okay. Sharon.
Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, let's do this again.
Hold on. Let's make sure we have you as a co-host. Okay.
Now, if you're having,
you should be able to share it now.
Okay. Let me do this. I apologize. Anthony is the one.
Okay. Just take your time. Sharon, if you're having problems, what you could do is just quickly send it to Carla at her email address, and she can pull it up for you.
All right.
Oh,
okay. There you go. There you go.
I just had to keep clicking now.
Good job. You did it.
Okay. Perfect. First of all, I want to thank everyone for inviting us. I think, Aisha, we built a really nice relationship here. It always is great to have OSHA out there and in front of the community and know that we are here to help. So we're going to go over a little bit with the construction industry. And I'm going to make this work. Okay. Anthony usually goes through all this, but we're just going to touch base with what the signs and symptoms of the infection are as far as COVID. You know, all of that really has changed. In the beginning, it was the sniffles, cough, runny nose, and the smell, loss of smell and taste. But it truly has evolved from that into other areas. So we want to make sure that we understand and that the employees understand what the symptoms are so that we can keep control and manage the virus out there, because that's part of what all this is being able to manage it. We can work around it. We just have to have the knowledge. So of course, how is it spread? It is spread through the droplets. I think we hear this every day, 10 times a day. We just want to make sure that you use the right, I wouldn't want to say personal protection equipment. As far as OSHA goes, there are regulations with that. But, you know, the masks, social distancing, we want you to make sure that you practice what you need to be able to manage. So, you know, the spread is from contact with contaminated surfaces and objects. Make sure that you're using hand sanitizer, that you have a regimented cleaning schedule. In the construction industry, you still can do that. You just have to be creative. But whatever you do put in place, make sure that you've trained your employees on this and that you follow. You've got to follow what you've put in place as far as the cleaning and the disinfecting. So on the guidance on returning back to work, and it's really more of continuing, we want to make sure that you do your hazard assessment. Derek Kane, who is here with me today, he is our construction consultant. He used to be in compliance, and I was fortunate enough to pull him over to the consultation division. With that, he can assist people out there. He can assist the employers and do that without any repercussions with fines and things like this. We're here to help you get where you need to be and do it in a consultation manner. So I know once that I've turned this over to Derek that you'll understand, and some of you might even know Derek and recognize his face from out there on the job sites. But you also want to make sure, as far as hygiene goes, make sure that you have water, soap and water available. I know the hand sanitizer is great, but they really are saying that soap and water is one of the best things you can do. And if people get into the practice of doing that, that's what we need. It's going to take all of us to do it. You can have 20 people on your job site, and if 19 are doing it and that one isn't, then you know what? You've got a gap. So you really do need to practice what you preach, and also strongly encourage them to do this. Social distancing, Derek will get into that a little bit of ways to do this on a construction site. He's much more fluent with that. But you also want to be able to identify and isolate sick workers. You really need to have a comfortable relationship with your subcontractors, and the ability to everyone feel comfortable in coming forward. You don't want someone to feel like there's going to be any type of retaliation or anything like this. Once again, Derek will hit a few of those. And you want to have your return to work after illness. Make sure that you have your policies and procedures in place for that. And make sure that your employees know what you're doing. You have to communicate, because when the rumor mill gets going, that takes over and it just blossoms and takes over your whole work site. Then people don't feel safe and maybe feel like they're not getting the information they need. So any way that you can communicate with the workforce, you need to do it. Also, your controls, that's going to depend on what you have in place to do that, and the training. Make sure you're training your employees on your policies and procedures. And if something changes, retrain. Let them know, because a lot of times things change daily. They might change weekly. But make sure they understand the changes. Make sure your subcontractors understand the changes, and they have the documents for that so they can train their employees. And if you're using labor forces, make sure that they're keeping up with what you need. And understand that we do have that anti-retaliation. I'm talking in a compliance manner right now. That is one thing that compliance is out there in full force. So if the anti-retaliation, if a worker feels like that they've been retaliated against because of coming forward with concerns, then they do have the right to contact OSHA. That being said, we in outreach and education are working very closely with employers to assist and help. That's what we do. That's why we're here. Compliance has its job out there, and it is so very important. But outreach and education, we're a great part of that. We're a great part of OSHA that we can give you the knowledge. We can come in and assist you with everything you need to do. I'm going to turn this over to Derek Kane. He is, once again, our construction consultant. And at the end of the PowerPoint, his contact information is there. Reach out to him. He's a great guy to work with. His email address will be there. If there's questions about COVID, if there's questions about construction, please reach out to him. So I'm going to let Derek talk, and I'm going to handle the PowerPoint for him. Derek?
Thank you, Ms. Sharon. You are too kind, I tell you. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Derek Kane. I'm one of the OSHA safety consultants with the Office of Outreach and Education. Just here today to give you a few tidbits on how to maintain a healthy work site. First thing we recommend that you do is that you do a good job site assessment. And we know that a job site can be anything from digging a 6-foot deep trench to building a 14-story hotel. But to do a good job site assessment, to get a good understanding of what you need to implement in your policies and procedures is the first thing to help prevent or slow down the spread of COVID-19. Now, also implementing this policy, these new policies, or just updating your policies and procedures, it's great to stay abreast of the public health guidelines. And you can easily do that through CDC, DHEC, and even OSHA's website, which is OSHA.gov, of course. Also within your procedures, you're going to need some type of engineering controls in there. We do have some listed here. I'm sure there's more that you can implement that would actually help out. But one I heard mentioned earlier that the City of Columbia is doing is signage and visual cues to help people understand the social distancing. Also with these signage, you can let employees know and employers know that the use of masks, shields, safety glasses, gloves are being used. Also, another engineering control is barriers when close contact indoors. And a barrier can be something as simple as a wall, guys working on different floors, some type of shield. It can be considered a barrier. Another engineering control can be ventilation, as simple as opening up windows, keeping doors open, installing fans in the windows to pull air out of those doors. Ms. Sharon, can we go to the next slide, please?
Okay.
Thank you. Another method of control is administrative control, which I think is one of the best. Some of those allow employees to work in certain areas of the job site, try to stagger breaks and lunch times if possible, managing different phases of construction projects, and know your subcontractors. And I want to pause right there. We understand that different job sites have different phases. You may have a site where y'all can knock this job out in one day. Then again, you may have that job site that may have 3 to 5 different phases. So understanding your phases, knowing what subcontractors you have coming on your job site, that way you can ensure that everybody is trained, that everybody understands the policies and procedures you have in place for that specific job site. Things of that magnitude can really, really help with the spread of COVID, or to decrease the spread of COVID. Monitoring who enters your job site. We know that we have delivery guys coming on job sites. I hate to say it, but we also have people delivering food to job sites. Things of that nature. We really need to monitor who enters the job site. They know your procedures when they enter your job site, where they need to go, who they need to meet, things of that magnitude. And I think Ms. Sharon hit a little bit where it says monitoring new employees and temp workers. We got to ensure that any kind of employee that's new that's coming on a job site or temp workers, that they go through your orientation, that they understand your policies and procedures that you have in place so that they may abreast. And again, that's why we say these different phases. We understand that one sub may be on there for 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, you're going to have different subcontractors come on that site. So those subs that come on after them have to go through all that same orientation, all that training. And documenting those orientations and trainings will help you be able to track who's been monitored, who went through orientation, and who went through training. Ms. Sharon, next slide, please. Thank you. Lastly, personal protective equipment, which is PPE, which consists of pretty much face coverings, masks, face shield, safety glasses. You know, some guys want to bring their own PPE on site, which is fine as long as it's appropriate and it's approved through you, the GC or that subcontractor. Next, we have training on COVID-19, what it is, how it's spread, training on your policies and your procedures. required PPE, which of course would be just listed, which is above, and reporting of illnesses. That's very important. If someone feels like they're ill and they need to go get checked, they need to report that to you so that you can track that and monitor that and inform his supervisor. Supervisor need to inform that GC or whoever is in charge of that particular site. Next slide there, Ms. Sharon. I'm not sure if that's my slide or not.
It is.
Communicate. That is so important. You need to develop some type of strategies to manage workers' concern, keep workers informed, and don't allow speculation. And I tell you, Ms. Sharon hit on it. We need to let the employees know that we are there to ensure that we are providing a good, safe, and healthy work environment. If not, sometimes speculation and rumors can lead to some unsafe measures, and that's what we do not want. So we need to make sure that we're communicating, and they communicate through what we call a tailgate meeting in the morning, a JHA with the job hazard analysis sheet that some people have implemented. They can talk about this COVID and where they're working on a job site or who's working where, what type of PPE is needed, things of that magnitude. And that's what we mean when we say communicate. It has to be done daily, all throughout the day on each job site. And again, if y'all have any questions, concerns or comments, please feel free to get in touch with me by way of email, phone call, and I will be there for you. Ms. Sharon?
Thank you, Derek. I appreciate it. I just want to add a couple of more items. I'm not going to take much more time, Aisha, but we talked about it before. I think all of us are dealing with this. It's been strange since March, and it has been stressful in a lot of different ways. So we need to look at our employees as a whole, not just physical, and make sure that they're safe that way. You need to make sure that they're coping with the stress in the correct way. You need to be able to see the signs of what the stress can be, and recognize those symptoms. If there's irritation, lack of motivation, if they're stressed out and their mind is somewhere else and they're concerned about being exposed or somebody in their family may be sick, their mind is not going to be on task. And that's when you have accidents. So we have to deal with the whole person. And if it's nothing, listening to what they have to say, you got to let them talk. And it might be something that you've discussed 20 times over, but sometimes they need to just hear it again, or at least you listen to what they're thinking and feeling. So be aware of the whole person with that. I think a lot of times, I know in the beginning we weren't thinking that way, but I think now this is something we really do have to look into. Just an overview of the South Carolina OSHA Outreach and Education Program. These are the services that we offer. We have consultation. Derek Kane is one of our construction consultants. We have 2 safety consultants, and we have our industrial hygienist. So we have consultants available. These are free of charge. We do not talk to compliance about who we're working with. It is always kept separate and confidential. We have our training services. We do this virtual right now. So if you need some type of training, you go to our website, request training, and also that's how you can request consultation visits. So we are still training. We're working. We're not coming to the sites right now as far as the outreach and education, but we're learning to work this virtual world pretty well. So we have our consultation and our training services. The recognition programs, of course, we have, which are VPP, Sharp Sites, and our partnerships. That's who we work. That's how we work with construction. We're trying to find a way to start those back up in a virtual sense. So please, if anybody's looking at partnerships with us, we're working with feds. We're trying to figure out how we're going to do this in the world we live in right now. And of course, we have technical assistance. Give us a call. If it's just about one item or one area, call us. We can help you with that. We can help with your safety and health management systems. We can help some of the programs where you may have gaps. So please reach out to us. We're free. All of us over on that, on our side, I say all because I was an industrial hygienist. I've been with OSHA for 22 years. You know, everybody in our consultation division, we're former compliance. We know what we're doing. We know OSHA. We know the workplace. So utilize us. That's what we're here for. That's why we've stayed with OSHA, because we love it. So please think about contacting us. Here is the information. We have the a designated email, which is OSHA/outreach@llr.sc.gov. That is designated right now for the COVID especially. We have our website. It is a new website than what we used to have. And I'm going to have Derek put his information in the chat, his personal contact information. Is that okay to do that, Aisha? Yeah.
Yes, please do that.
Okay, great. We'll put Derek's personal information. So if you would like to reach out to him personally, as far as construction or anything like that, please feel free to do so. And thank you so very much for having us. And if there's any questions, let me know.
All right. And as Sharon mentioned, if there are any questions, you can put them in the chat room. If anyone has any that we can take some time right now to answer any questions that anyone has of Sharon and Derek right now. We'll also offer an opportunity towards the end to ask questions as they come up. So you can, like I said, you can put those questions in the chat room, or we'll give you some time at the end. Sharon and Derek, thank you so much. Y'all have been a great partner with us through these webinars all summer. It's been a wonderful partnership, and I encourage anyone on the call that has any questions of OSHA. We're all in this together, so OSHA wants you to do it correctly, so please use them as a resource to make sure that you're getting your questions answered. You don't have to guess. We wanted you to use those resources to get your questions answers as needed. All right, at this time, we're going to show our commercial for our construction industry. Carla's going to share her screen and show us the commercial, and then we'll introduce our panelists and get started with that portion of our presentation. While Carla's doing that, I'll read Lasenta's comment for anyone that's on the call that can't see the chat. She just said, thank you to OSHA for partnering with the construction contractors in the past. The perception with OSHA comes around has not been good. Yeah, but I love how you offer a courtesy review to help those of us stay in compliance. Thank you for all that you do. That's great, Lasenta. We all want to make sure we're in compliance. So Carla, all we see is your email. Okay, and Derek has shared his contact information in the chat too. For anyone on the call, I'll just tell you that his email is derrick.cain@llr.sc.gov. His number is 803-995-1284. Okay, we're gonna move on. We'll hopefully we can get that commercial up soon. Technology, we have to be flexible with that. So hopefully we can get that in a few minutes. But right now, I want to introduce our presenters, our panelists today. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. We know when you're here meeting with us, that means you're not out on the field or doing something else that you could be doing right now. So we really appreciate you taking the time. It's important that we communicate to the public what efforts you're taking to ensure the public safety of not only your clients and customers, but your employees. So that's very important that you're here. Okay, on the call, we have Lasenta Lewis-Ellis with LLE Construction. We'll start with you, Lasenta. If you could just introduce what your company, the services you provide.
Oh, sure. Good morning. So I am Lasenta Lewis-Ellis. I'm President and CEO of LLE Construction Group. This is our 9th year in business. Yes. And we survived COVID. So I'm so excited for that. Our focus is general construction and contracting, project and construction management, and also facility support services for our clients, which are typically your K through 12 schools, so your school districts, your colleges and universities and charter schools. That has always been our primary client. Well, now because of COVID, we are pivoting, of course, into some of the more commercial space and also working on some real estate investing and development projects as well. So my name is Lasenta.
Thank you, Lasenta. We also have Carol Smoak on the call. Make sure you're unmuted.
Okay, I think I unmuted it from my phone. Can you do that?
Uh-oh.
Okay, does that work better?
I'm getting a little bit of feedback.
Okay, we muted that one. We're going to turn Karen's on.
Okay.
Okay, one's enough. I'm Carol Smoak. I own Smoak Construction. We do water and sewer utilities. And we are a protege under the mentor of G.H. Smith. That's why we're together a lot. And we have gotten through COVID-19.
Good deal. All right. And then Karen, you're in there too. So can you go ahead and introduce yourself and your company?
I'm Karen with G.H. Smith Construction. And we've been in the mentor program for over 10 years. And so Smoak Construction is our second protege. We've had one graduate to mentor status, but we've not had any major problems. All of our guys have. I've been able to get these through Staples pretty easily, and we keep them out for the guys. And we also ordered everybody these. These are made by Mission, but they can put them around their neck and just pull them up when they need to. And basically, they try to stay apart. And if we have to talk to a resident, because we're working in a neighborhood a lot of times, we keep our distance and wear a mask. We keep hand sanitizer on all the trucks. And, when you're working with water and sewer lines, you're going to be washing your hands all the time anyway. So, but it hasn't slowed us down. And so far, we haven't had anybody sick, and we're both small businesses. It's not like we have 50 employees, so it's pretty easy to keep up with everybody. But we've just been moving right along during all of this.
Good. Thank you so much. All right, Frank Mitchell, can you introduce yourself and your company, please? Make sure you're unmuted.
Okay. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My name is Frank Mitchell. I am president of Orion Construction Company. We have been in business since 1985. We do primarily residential and commercial construction. I must say that out of 35 years, we've had some up and down, but nothing like the coronavirus. We're trying to survive, and by staying safe. So basically, since the pandemic, we've been doing more residential construction. meaning that we've been coming in contact with more homeowners. And so we have to practice safe conditions. And thank you for having me this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. All right, Nate Spells, can you please introduce yourself and your company, please?
Sure. First of all, good morning, everyone. Like Nate said, my name is Nathaniel Spells Jr. With Construction Dynamics Incorporated, my role is pre-construction manager, business development manager for the company. This past July, we have been in business for 33 years, going into the second generation. Nathaniel Spells Sr., I believe, is probably on the call as well, is here as the founder of the company. Like I said, mentioning COVID, this is something that's is new and rare to everyone. As of late, it definitely has affected us. We've had a couple of projects that have been deferred, but at the same time, we have some projects that are going on right now. And one of them particularly is at University of South Carolina in the Horseshoe. Because of the changes, they have a very strict rules. We have to, in reference to, there's only one way people are coming in and out. We're doing masks. We're chronologically or taking temperatures and marking everybody coming in and out from a tracing standpoint. We can't share coolers, all those things. Also, what's really changed has been meetings, on-site job meetings. A lot of them now are going virtual for the most part because of the space, and we want to practice that. And also we do practice social distancing. So I'm excited to be on this panel, and we'll continue to move on and survive and get through this. It's just another layer, and I'm pretty sure we'll get through it soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spells. Okay, Carla, we're going to try to show that commercial, that video. The sound. Okay, we're going to pause it so we can get that sound on. We're really excited. We were able to get a video done with our free thinkers. Melissa mentioned them before, but today's webinar is powered by Free Thinkers. They're an all media platform and provide live streaming services to businesses and the community. And they use their platform and technology to share valuable information to the community. Their website is freethinkers.com. So they were able to help us with this video. So we're excited about showing that.
Okay, along, in that North Columbia corridor.
Mm-hmm.
Audio is still not.
Aisha, let's go ahead and take this video down.
Okay.
Send it out to everyone once it's done. I think there may be some interference because we're online already, and then trying to run that video online, it may be slowing it down. Our apologies, everybody.
Yeah, so we'll keep on moving on. Thank you, Melissa. All right. Lasenta, I don't think, were you able to share some of the efforts that you've taken to address COVID?
Yes, on the video I did. So I will say, like I said, normally our normal group of clients are schools, K through 12, your colleges and universities. As you know, in March, everyone shut down, I think, in more of a panic. And because of that, they put a halt to any work that we had going forward. But I'm very grateful. Prior to COVID, I started getting more into the affordable housing space. So I had already landed a contract or two to do some work on some affordable housing projects. Well, they continued to move forward. So thank Thank you, Lord, for those opportunities to diversify the work that we were doing because, yes. So in working with the housing, we work with Mungo Construction. And we're building 8 affordable housing off of Reed Street, the historical Reed Street here in Columbia. And once COVID hit, we continued to move forward, but we had to put in some measures as it related to staggering our subcontractors. Well, one, before staggering, we had to really communicate with them what is COVID and how has it impacted not only our job site, but the world. And so communicating the measures that we needed to take. And thank you so much, Derek, for that, because that was really good, because those are some of the things that we had to sit back and think, like, how do we make sure we practice social distancing on a job site when normally we stack in subs, you know, to get the work done. So that was quite a challenge. But we made sure that since it's 8 houses, we had different contractors working at different times. So it actually worked. And unfortunately, I have to say, we had one person to actually have COVID, and it happens to be the superintendent. So he isolated himself, and he was replaced, and we continue to move forward. So that's how it's impacted, you know, the jobs that we've been working on for the last couple of months. But like you said in the beginning, Sharon, and also Derek, communication was the key. Because we work with the Hispanic population, we work with a population that don't always understand the English, you know, so we had to make sure that we communicated in a way where it's understandable and that everyone was on board and had a buy-in to the changes that we've had to make because of COVID.
Good. Thank you, Lasenta. Carol, what obstacles have you been facing as you deal with COVID?
The first thing when it happened, I think it happened so fast and everything sold out, antibacterial wipes, everything. We just could not find immediately what we needed for our trucks and our employees, even our employees that drive their own cars. We wanted them to have in their own vehicles what they needed. So we created, Karen and I go back and forth all the time talking about this. We put soap, hand dispenser soap, regular wipes in their cars, and they always have water. So they created their own hand washing, because when you're in water and sewer working outside, you have to be able to wash your hands all the time. So we got that good hand washing. We were able to get the sanitizer not too long after that. But there was a real panic, not panic, but concerning moment when we could not find the products as everybody. It happened to everybody all at once. But now we have plenty, and I've stockpiled as we go into the fall. We're going to have plenty that's in every truck. The mask, everybody has masks, even in their own personal cars if they work for us. The other thing that we did, and we're very small company, but at all times, we let our employees know if they were feeling unwell in any way to stay home. We didn't take any chances with bringing one guy onto the job site that didn't feel well. And no retaliation, no anything about it. No, most of the time nobody's come back and said they tested with the COVID-19, but we didn't want to take any chances. And so we made them feel comfortable that stay home and rest a day or two, get over feeling bad and then come back to work. So we hope that that's how we're going to continue through the fall. Right.
No, that's really great. I know I've heard in the media about making sure your employees stay out when they're sick, because that could potentially cause a further spread. So that's good to hear that your company has that policy in place. How about you, Karen? Any additional obstacles other than maybe finding PPE or?
Well, initially, since we were working in town, that was before, when it all started, that was before the mask mandate. And of course, it's been very, very hot this summer. So nobody was really wearing masks initially, but I happened to have a subcontractor that sent out an advertisement for the hand sanitizer. So I was able to order a couple of gallons of that right off the bat and, have everybody have it on their trucks. But then you know, started looking around and found that I could get the, you know, just the paper ones like this through Staples. I can get these in a day. So, you know, I've ordered a few hundred and just have them on the trucks. And, you know, we're like them. We're a small crew. And we did have this summer, we had a few college age guys working for us, and one of them found out he had been exposed, and we just said stay home, and he stayed home until he got his test back and he was negative, and so then he came back to work. So, and other than that, we haven't had anybody sick, so that's been good.
That is great. Yes. Okay. Frank, how about you? Any obstacles that your business has faced? You said you're doing more residential now.
Yes. Our main, I guess, problem is the mask. Okay. Working in 90-degree temperature with cloth mask or paper mask doesn't last too long. And we have, some people have their own personal masks with their football team on it, that they want to keep it on the whole day, sometimes 2 days a week. And so we keep a lot of the commercial ones on site. And sometimes we have to go around and tell them, change the mask. And they just don't realize it. In construction, we don't have a problem with social distance because most people like working by themselves. You know, they're a painter, carpenter, they're like in their own world sometimes, working by themselves. So we don't have a problem with that. It's the mask. You put it on, you start sweating, and then, you know, you drop it down sometime below the chin and then pull it back up. So we probably go through 2 or 3 masks a day per person. So, but we do encourage that though. But that's the biggest obstacle is maintaining a safe and sanitary mask all day.
Aisha, may I comment on
Yes,
Mr.
please.
Mitchell?
Yes.
So because everyone was stuck at home, they realized they needed some projects done. So I can see how the residential space started booming for construction because it seemed like everyone was calling to get something renovated during COVID.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's good, Lasenta. That's a silver lining. We always have to look for a silver lining right now. So that's great that that the honey-do list projects have increased. So that's wonderful. How about you, Mr. Spells? Any obstacles that you faced recently and you found maybe a unique way to address that?
Obstacles is clearly, I guess, is the work. As you know, like I said, we have a couple of projects that got deferred later. I mean, we had contracts at hand, but because of COVID, that changed that. We're being blessed. We have some opportunities now. We are bidding, and we have still some contracts that are still going. We were blessed, like Lasenta mentioned, most of the higher education shut down. Blessed for us, we have 2 jobs at USC they happen to say to proceed with, and one in particularly is over a year-long project. So hopefully when that ends, we'll have a better grasp on the COVID. But the biggest thing, of course, is when you have a couple of jobs, they stop, then you got to find work for other people. Like Melissa mentioned, we're in the maintaining stage right now. Not too many hires, anything else in that manner. So that's one of the biggest obstacles is continue to work because everybody's going after work because the lesser everyone's kind of in the same boat. But we're going to keep striving and we'll get over it.
That's good. The next question I want to ask is, has anyone, since we talked about silver lining, has anyone identified any unique ways to address their obstacles or maybe a different way they've had to pivot throughout this pandemic that maybe if things were normal, they would not have realized?
Well, this Lasenta, I always have something to say.
I appreciate it.
So during the COVID, I actually started a consulting firm. I just say a consulting division of LLE Construction Group, LLE Consulting. And it's an opportunity for me to work with small business owners and help them navigate what they were going through with COVID, finding the funding that they needed to continue to keep their doors open, but also rethinking their business and looking at, like you say, what is the silver lining? What are other opportunities that maybe you didn't think about because you were so busy running this part of the business? What are some of the other things that you can also offer? What other problems can you solve for your clients in order to generate, that revenue needed to keep your business open? So I started LLE Consulting during COVID, and it speared off of me working with the library last year as an entrepreneur in residence, coaching small business owners. Within a 4-month period, we coached over 120 business owners, which was awesome. So that's one of my pivots. It doesn't really have to do with construction, but it has to do with running a business, which is key. If you can't run your business, your construction company won't stay open too long. So being able to help people really solidify the foundation of their company is very critical. And we learned that during COVID. I'm sure all of us on this call realized where we may have dropped the ball, the areas of the business where we really need to strengthen. So if we ever hit with a COVID or any other type of, this is very unique, but if we ever hit with something very similar, what are we going to put in place going forward to make sure we build a resilient business? And so that's one of the things that I've been able to do with some small business owners, focusing mostly on contractors and just how do we do business better, and especially minority contractors. I work with a lot of women and minorities, just making sure that, we have the tools in place to build a better business. So that's been one of my pivots. Another one has been, we're doing some logistical work. So we're moving products and goods and services for a client. Once COVID opened up, they were ordering all these supplies, but they didn't have anyone to deliver them to the locations. So now we're doing some transporting for some of our clients. And that's been helping to keep the doors open as well. So that's been our journey. I'm loving it.
That's
like I said, we're still here. So thank you.
That's good, Lasenta. Anyone else want? Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I would say some years ago, I was in the 8A program. That's a federal government program for minority contractors. And it's a 9 years program. And during the 9 years you're in the program, you get a lot of work, a lot of construction work. And when I say a lot, you negotiate contracts. So you can bid on almost any job you want. It's pretty easy in terms of marketing and that kind of stuff. Well, at the end of the program, I was set up for 8A for government jobs, which means it's completely different from residential or commercial. So anyway, after the 8A program, I had a lot of, so now my marketing strategy, my bidding strategy, everything changed because on the outside, it was different. It was no longer negotiating bid. It was the lowest bid. It was, you had to go and find your own job or find your own work. And that didn't last long for my company, okay? And I'm saying that to say that's basically the same thing when the pandemic came in. You really had to adapt and then pivot, okay? Meaning that, there were contracts that were put on hold. So what do? You just sit around and hope that that things change. Well, after about 3 or 4 weeks, or maybe a month, you realize things are not going to change. So that's when I guess we pivoted into more residential, more investment, more real estate, because that's, people were, those who were staying home, like you say, realized that there are a lot of things that needed to be done. A lot of decks need to be built, a lot of repairs, deferred maintenance that needed to be done. And you couldn't just go in the Yellow Pages online and pick a contractor to do the work. So we benefited from that. It was slower, probably less money, but I was able to keep my workforce and my subcontractor kind of busy, kind of intact, so that, well, again, we're in a surviving stage, but we're surviving. So basically, long and short, you have to adjust. You have to adapt and adjust. And those who adapt and adjust and be creative will make it. And those who don't, they won't. So,
yep. No, that's good. Yep, that's a good life lesson. You got to learn to be able to adjust and adapt. So, absolutely, thank you for sharing that. Carol or Karen, did you want to share something about any unique ways or pivoting that you've had to do with your business?
Sewer and water are pretty much in demand all the time. So that we saw that when we had to have the letters that mandated that we could continue working, the importance of the sewer and water utility world.
Yeah. You know, I mean, things haven't really changed for us other than just the paperwork process. Everybody's real happy to have a scan copy now. Before it was like, oh no, we have to have originals, and now it's like, oh sure, just send me a scan. So yeah, but you know, we're in the same, doing the same things every day, just a little bit different.
So we're very fortunate in the industry that we're in the construction industry. As long as y'all keep asking for work.
Yeah, it's essential. So that's good. So I would like to ask a couple of questions about workforce development. So in this time, that unfortunately, a lot of people have lost their job or have decided that maybe they need to get into a different career field. If someone was interested in getting in the construction field, what advice do you have? Do you have opportunities at your establishments, or any advice you have for someone that's interested in getting into construction?
Well, I'll tell them to go into water and sewer. Because that's great to see that they were still, you know, progressing during that time. So we know that that's a great field to be in. We always need water. You're right.
That's right. Absolutely. Water in the sewer has to keep flowing all the time.
And it needs to be updated all the time. A lot of it all over the city is older and needs to be replaced. But as far as going into the business, I think Karen and I would both agree that we would train people on the job at this point.
It's hard to find help in our field right now because, you know, we told everybody, go to college, get your degree, and get a good job. And so nobody wants to work outside in the 100-degree heat and dirty and long hours. And so we do have a hard time finding help.
That's our biggest struggle for both of us.
Right. And, I mean, we're lucky that we've had some crew that's been with us for 10 to 20 years. And they're, you know, but any new ones that we've had usually come in and they stay and for a little bit and then they're gone. We were lucky to have a few college boys this summer. You know, college kids couldn't find a job this summer. We're in a restaurant to work no job. And we did recently get a new guy that has lost his job. So that we have used SC work before. And, you know, both of those guys have been gone. But it is hard to find good help for our business.
And Aisha, I like to add, Aisha, I do think that the construction industry as a whole, whether it's electricians, plumbers, your HVAC technicians, they're all struggling to find help or a good work. We're all struggling with that. So I would love to see from a workforce development more apprenticeship programs put in place. Whether we do it in partnership with like Midlands Tech or with even with our high schools, if we're able to get our young people more involved in the construction industry, because right now everyone's always focused on technology, and I get it, we do need technology, but at the end of the day, we still need our electricians, we still need our plumbers, we have some special, I see Belfour on the call. We also need technicians who can go into the house and distract the water and do whatever it is that we need to run our businesses. but we're struggling to find really good help. So I do think that apprenticeship programs are good. Every summer we offer internships for college students who may be interested in our field, so they can come and really see what it's like to work in construction. We need to expose our young people and people in general to what it is that we do, because there's a perception, there's just a perception that it's hard work. Well, it is. But if we train them and show them what it is that it consists of to be in our industries, I think we'll have more young people more engaged. And then look at the numbers. Whenever kids or whenever there's a financial crisis, people still need a plumber. People still need an electrician. I mean, those are industries that are not going anywhere. So we need to make sure we put some systems in place like apprenticeship programs or others that can help us build that pipeline.
That's great. That's great.
And I add something?
Yes, please.
With South Carolina OSHA, the Outreach and Education, we have been working with the career centers that the high schools feed into, and they have building construction, they have HVAC, they have all these career paths. I think that if construction companies would try to partner with them, because they are begging for people in the industry to come in and talk to these kids. So that is an avenue there that I think would help. We go in and we give, we're not throughout the state yet because it takes a lot of manpower, but we're in 7 different career centers, and we're giving these kids OSHA 10 training. So they are OSHA 10 certified when they leave out of there. So it is educating the public that college is not always the way to go, that there are career paths that are really much better as far as having a steady income. You have kids that do well working with their hands, and you don't have a $200,000 student loan you got to pay back. So, look at your career centers. They have that, and if they don't, talk to them, help them build it.
And I want to piggyback off of that, Sharon. If you look up Midlands Education and Business Alliance, it's MEBA. MEBA partners with the school districts and their different career programs to actually bring professionals to your school, to the schools. Whether it's your architects, engineers, your contract, we need business leaders like us to show up in the classroom and really share what it's like to be in construction. So thank you, Sharon, for that. That's a good one. Thank you.
That's great. So we have a question in the chat. Nate, I'll ask you this one. It says, we are a small company, about 4 years, Delta Building Solutions. Any advice on how to assure our clients we are using safety measures? So how do you assure your clients that you are practicing safety measures?
Basically, like most of our clients, like the one we're doing now with USC, we actually had to submit a safety measure plan. It's like a 2-3 page Word document that we put together that just shows these are the steps that we're taking to assure safety. And we spell them out from the PPE, from checking temperatures to the like, also showing the flow of traffic on the project so they can understand how it's flowing in and out, and how the people will be operating in the facility from social distancing. So if you can show a plan, and then of course, if you're actually on the job, you have to implement that plan. So you can show the pictures or video with technology. These are some of our guys who are on the site, and this is what they're doing. And you can show that to the client.
No, that's great. That's a great idea to create a safety measure plan and have that available. That might be a good idea to just go ahead and create one for even the clients that don't require it. Just go ahead and establish that so you can have it.
And we can help you with that.
And OSHA can help you. That's great, Sharon. So we want to ask for any one of our panelists that are looking for some employees, can you provide your contact information for those that have an interest? We can start with you. If anyone is looking, how can they contact you?
In fact, we are. I think all construction companies are always looking for good employees. And I would add to the conversation about the construction area. I think housing is always going to be around. So, you know, young folks need to consider that as a career. Anyway, with that in mind, I can give them my telephone number. I'm in, I'm gonna say Better Business Bureau. But my telephone number is 803-622-8695. And my email address is Orion Mitch, like the constellation, at AOL.com. So yes, carpenters, electrician, plumber, sheetrock, painters, subcontractor, and employees. We always looking for good employees.
Thank you. Lasenta, how about you? Can you provide information if anyone?
Yes, I am actually typing it in the chat box so that they can just screenshot it or save the chat. So I'm showing our LLE construction group, my email, my office number, and the website. And even though we're currently not looking for staff per se, or because we partner with a lot of subcontractors. So I'm always looking for subcontractors to work with. And I'm always looking for other contractors to partner with, because it's all about collaboration. It's all about partnership. If we didn't learn anything from COVID, working with other contractors, like we're partnering with Mungo Construction, working with other contractors have been a way for us to stay open as well. So I'll put my information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Lasenta. And I see Nate, you put your.
Sorry. I was going to pop on and just piggyback off of Lasenta. Same comment. We are constantly working to collaborate with those other construction companies in the area, you know, from a rebuild perspective or construction, or if something goes wrong while you're on that job site. We are actively looking for a project manager to join our staff. So if you do know of anybody that's looking, please, I'll throw my email into the chat. Just wanted to say that as well. And then again, same as everybody else, I need good subs, please. It's the constant struggle of our lives, right? But I would.
And Kara, what type of subs are you looking for?
So, I mean, it could be specialized. You know, individual skills are great, or just, you know, overall do everything kind of subcontractors. If we have a project going on that's a full rebuild and we can trust one company or you know, to do it all, that makes our lives easier. On the flip side, sometimes we need some separation so that when something does go wrong, we know exactly who to talk to. But so yeah, I mean, I would love to talk further with any of you guys that might be interested in joining our subcontractor base. It's just a vendor pack, and we could farm some stuff to you and vice versa, and see how we can collaborate and keep this business moving forward.
Great, thank you so much.
Thanks.
And I was going to say, Nate, you've shared your information in the chat. Karen, do you want to let us know how if someone's interested in applying? Or
well, they can call 803-781-5460, and I don't know how to make this come, you know, the email come up on there.
Okay, we can do that. What's the email?
It's GHSMITHCONST@AOL.com.
Okay, I added that for Karen. And then Carol?
You can contact Tom Smoak. He's our project manager on our job. He can be reached at 803-309-6410. His email is tsmoak, and I'm spelled Smoak, SMOAK, @smoakconstruction.com. And we just like we're looking for laborers, equipment operators. That would be great to get equipment operators.
Okay, good. I've added those email addresses in there. Also, if for someone's on the call and they can't see the email, please give us you can send us an email at obo@columbiasc.gov or contact our office, and we'll make sure we can get you in contact with anyone that's on the call today. So we're not going to be too much longer. One last thing I want to ask our panelists is there anything that you can think of that the city can do to help you or those in your industry? Karen and Carol, we can start with you.
You talking about like a job board?
Or just, is there any access to information, more clear guidance, training opportunities? Is there anything that you see the city could be a resource for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're ready to go to work. I mean, we've figured out how to get, work with the COVID-19. So
okay.
We're getting to be more work going into the winter. We don't want to come back here not having work.
I've asked several times about the protege only project that we were going to put out. There's not a lot coming out for bid right now. We're busy, that's great, but there's not a lot coming out for bid right now.
Okay. We'll make sure the powers that be know that that's what you're asking for.
Juliet knows.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Frank, how about you? No, not yet. I think you're still on. Okay, now. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was trying to chat and I'm sorry. Can you ask that question please again?
Yeah,
please?
Is there anything the city can do for you right now? Needs that you have that the city may be able to, if there's additional training, access to resources. I
would probably say access to resources.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can communicate that to you later.
Okay. Yes, please do.
Okay.
All right. Lasenta, anything you can think of? The city or municipalities, what are they communicating enough for you? Or?
Well, what I would say, I think the city and the county is doing a very good job of hosting webinars that are specific to some of the needs of the small business community. So you're doing a really good job in that. I enjoyed your water sewer program that you did earlier this year, where we had an opportunity to walk through what it's like to do work with the city. Well, now I would like to see a part 2 where you have some more contracting opportunities and really expand upon what that mentor protege program looks like and how can we take advantage of it and actually use it to our benefit, finding mentors that are willing to work with some of your small women and minority contractors to help them build that pipeline in that area of water and sewer. I've been preaching on that for years. I'm still preaching on it. The other thing that I would love to see, if the city can expand more on their subcontracting program, because you have a really good program, but how can we get more contractors involved into it so that you can utilize our services? Not only in the that space, but also in your building programs, with your renovations and with your new construction. How can we be a part of those type programs as well? So those are some of the things that are important for me as a small business owner. So I like those. Yeah. I'm sure I have more, but I will say, Aisha, y'all have done an excellent job from your funding program. You've done a great job on, again, hosting webinars and different programs to help educate us, and whether it's knowing how to run our business from a financial perspective all the way to estimating a project. So I will give you kudos on that. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Lasenta. And I can guarantee you that our leadership, especially our director, is going to make sure that we provide as many opportunities as possible with the city projects, even more so than we've done in the past. So I do anticipate, to Karen and Carol's point, more protege-only projects or protege-led projects, and then absolutely more opportunities for our minority and women-owned businesses to participate in the procurement of the city. We're definitely going to make some concerted efforts to make sure that happens soon. So thank you for that. We appreciate that. And you know how to get in contact with us if you think of anything else. We're always open to more ideas. We really are here as a resource to the community. If it wasn't for the community, there'd be no need for our office. So we want to make sure we're providing the information that you need. So we appreciate that. Kara also reminded us that if you click the 3 dots in the chat, you can save the chat. So if you see where it says chat, there's 3 dots to the far right, and you can save your chat, and it has everybody's contact information. So thank you for that reminder. Nate, I think you're the only one didn't ask about anything else the city can do that you see. Is there a need from the construction industry that the city could potentially meet?
I just kind of second what Lasenta was saying, more in programs, especially because, like I said, me as Lasenta and Frank, we were more vertical people. We like, the horizontal is good too, but we like the vertical, like the ballpark and stuff like that. That was very successful, and that was able to incorporate a lot of people from the city on that project. And so I kind of second what Lasenta was saying.
Okay.
Like see more programs, renovation. I know there's some stuff coming down. That'd be great.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. As a reminder, we do have that mentor protege program annual meeting on September 15th and September 17th, and that will be in a webinar format for anyone on the call that's interested in the mentor protege program and how that works. Just an overall view, the intent of that program is to help build the capacity of our smaller companies. So we partner them with the larger companies. It is primarily water sewer projects, stormwater projects in the construction industry, and also in the professional services industry. Juliet Nelly is the compliance administrator for that program. If you have any additional questions, if you contact our office, we'll make sure to get you in contact with her on how it works. Mr. Spells, Senior, I see you popped up on here. Is there anything you wanted to add?
I just wanted to commend the city for putting on this seminar, and I've been sitting here in awe with the knowledge that the information I'm learning today. I've been in the industry for 48 years. I'm an old man now, but I'm always trying to learn something new. So I was very impressed with all of the panelists today. And again, we want everybody to stick in there. It's a very difficult time right now, but just try to think of, as has been stated, you need to diversify, you need to work smart, you need to save every dime that you make, okay, and what have you. But again, we're very appreciative of everything that the city has done and continues to do. And I wish everybody continued success.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We have a couple of minutes for any additional questions that anyone may have, or our panelists, or OSHA, the city. We're here if you have any questions. I'm looking to see.
I use it. I
Yes,
don't
sir.
have a question though. I'd just like to say hello to Nick Spells.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, and it's good to see him. Just want to say hello to him.
Okay. Hello, Frank.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Spells.
Good to see you. Good to see
Mr. Spells, you have a fan club here.
Yes, you do. He's been like a mentor for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we look up to him. So it's great to see him on here.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, well, I don't see any more questions. If you have any, remember, I'm going to send a survey right after this call, probably within the next 10-15 minutes. So we ask that you respond to that survey. If you have any questions for us, we definitely want you to send us those questions. Carla was just going to share our contact information again on the screen. Our email address is obo@columbiasc.gov, and our website is www.columbiasc.gov/OBO. We are here to answer any questions you may have. Even if you don't think that we can help you with it, let us know and we will find the answer for you. We will connect you with the correct people. We have lots of partnerships throughout the city and the region, so we can do that for you. Melissa, did you want to share any final thoughts before we close?
I did. I just wanted to thank everyone again for participating. And I too am a fan of Mr. Spells. So see you again, Mr. Spells. I haven't seen you in a minute. Just again, thank you for all the work that you do. Thank you for your honest, unfiltered comments and responses. We love it. Keep that coming. Right now is not a time to hold back. So if there's things that we can do to help you as a public entity do what you do best, and that's helping our community, revitalizing our community, and keeping our local economy going, let us know. I also want to thank Aisha for the great job with this seminar. This was great. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. Aisha, as always, you guys are amazing. Thank you. I think we probably need to have those comments, somehow typed up in a narrative that we can get out to our construction industry. There are some very, very good key points there. Even if you're outside, sometimes we lose focus and think that we're safe, but some of us are still working in close quarters, and we need to make sure we're adhering to the proper guidance that's been given to us. I also want to thank the OBO team. I know Carla has been instrumental in helping put this together. Carla Eichelberger, she's there, but she's hiding. I'm not sure why. She's always in the background making the connections for us. And Carla is the one, when you call the 803-545-3950 number, you're going to get her. All of our lines have been transferred to our cell phones, so you can reach us, me, anyone, whenever you need to. So we're working, we're out here. If there's anything we can do, let us know. I think some other OBO team members are on the phone. I'm not sure if they are. Aisha, do you know who else may be on the line with us?
Tanya's on the call.
Tanya's great. She's been very instrumental. She will help us if we owe you all some invoices or anything. Call Tanya. She's the one that can help expedite those.
Kalina
Ginyard, she has been with us now for almost a year, or over a year. And
year and a half.
Helps us with our minority participation, citywide 10% minority participation. She also works in compliance also. So she will be there to help you if you have any questions regarding any of our programmings. She can help you. MPP that was mentioned today on the call. Our CDBE program is going through some revamping right now to make sure that we're getting more participation and local participation in our projects that we have out there in the water and sewer infrastructure. And we're going to
Juliet and Latanya are on as well.
Awesome. And Juliet Nelly is on the phone, as well as Tanya Germany. She's on the phone. So thank you all both. They're in the office working diligently. Juliet is our program administrator for compliance, and Latanya is the program coordinator for that office as well, for that area in our office. So they're doing a great job. Again, most of you know both of them. If you have any questions regarding our programs, or if you know of someone that you think would be a good fit with our program, we're looking for more proteges, not just mentors. We're also looking for more proteges. Let us know. Call us, connect us. We want them in this program now more than ever. We're trying to help, again, our local economy keep going. We're trying to help people maintain where they are, but also for those that are ready, to expand and move forward. So we're still in the capacity building business. So let us know if we can help you. We also are going to be receiving, and you'll get more information about this later, we have received $2.7 million from the Economic Development Administration for COVID-related financing that we can put out there into the community. This funding has been streamlined. So the criteria with most of our EDA funds that we use, that a number of different waivers have been implemented in an effort to get the money out quickly. So you're going to hear more about that. It's going before council September 1st. And once after the second reading, it will be on the streets. So we're trying to get that money out. It will be between $10,000 to $200,000 to help with our recovery efforts here in the City of Columbia with our small business community. So that money will be there for you to use within your businesses. 0% interest rate for the first year, locked in at 2.5 for the remaining long term. So we're here, we're helping. We want to do as much as we can to help you. And if you see something else that we can do that we're not doing, let us know. Thank you. And thank you again, Aisha, for a great job.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Please remember to stay safe and healthy and wear your mask. And please let us know if there's anything else that the Office of Business Opportunities can provide for you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Nice meeting everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.